Well, good afternoon, guys. This afternoon we're going to go ahead and start catching up on some of those projects that we have here at the ranch. We're not going to be going to the bus barn for a whole week. We're on vacation, so I'm going to take advantage of that time and try and see if I can finish up that John Deere tractor we have here at the ranch. I already got the clutch. I had received a clutch that was, well, I got two PTO clutches instead of a drive and a PTO, so I couldn't put it back together. Now that I got the correct one, I went ahead and ordered an HD clutch. Well, guys, what we're going to do here is we're going to kind of put this thing back together. The PTO clutch we don't have to worry about yet. I mean, that goes in between the pressure plate and the flywheel. But the one we do have to assemble right now is going to be your drive. And basically, this is the little HD clutches they sold me. Supposedly this is supposed to be a little bit better than this. So, and you can see, look at the splines on that one. It's 1 3/8, and I believe it's a 19 spline. And this is a little bit smaller. This is like maybe a 7/8 of an inch, and maybe, I don't know, I'm gonna say like 16, 17 spline, give or take. So this is the one we're gonna install. This one basically goes here. This one is not marked. Sometimes it'll tell you like flywheel side, but on this one it doesn't. So this one goes here, and then of course this pressure plate bolts right on top of it. It's got the 3 adjusting bolts on it. It's got nuts to actually lock it in place, and 3 bolts that'll adjust how much pressure or tension you want on that thing. That right now I'm just going to put it together. The adjustment itself we're going to do as we go along, but right now I'm just going to put it together so that this thing could be assembled and ready to be installed on that flywheel. And let's go ahead and get that clutch disc, and this little shaft here goes towards the transmission. This is the flywheel side. All right. I know we're going to be using that aligning tool, but I'm just going to get it somewhere close and then bring this case over, set it up on top. There, and get these 3 14mm bolts snug. These things I'll show you in a bit. They have a locking nut. Once you get the adjustment on right, then you have those 3 lock nuts that'll lock these bolts in place, and that's basically how they adjust these clutches. I left them. I kind of put RTV, the yellow contact or adhesive glue, whatever, on the nut itself, kept it from moving. So right now I'm just going to tighten this thing up, and it's going to go back to where it was before. I'm going to take this clutch to John Deere, see if they can actually adjust these for me. I don't want to install, assemble, and then have the tractor either not move or the clutch not disengage. I'm gonna have to split that thing open again. I would much rather just take it in, have them adjust it for me, and pay whatever it is. I mean, I'm assuming it's gonna be somewhere, I don't know, maybe $100, give or take. Not sure. Never done this. Never had a clutch adjusted, so I guess we'll find out. Well, guys, there's our assembled clutch. And this is a dual action because it's got dual clutches, one for your PTO, one for your drive. I got this one in place. These are the nuts that I was telling you about. I just kind of marked them here. That way, when I put it back together, this is the way that it was adjusted before I actually tore it apart. Before it was running fine, but I'm still going to take it in, have this thing checked. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I've never done one. They might have to do it while it's on the tractor. If it is, I'll get some kind of directions as to how this is done, so that I can go ahead and do it myself. I'm not sure as to what I have to do now, but I guess we'll figure this one out, guys. For now, these are 1, 2, 3 bolts, and then these are the ones that you bolt up this pressure plate assembly to your flywheel. And of course, PTO disc goes there. This whole clutch assembly bolts onto the flywheel with this disc caught up in the middle. That's your PTO clutch right there. So that's it for this, guys. Let me go ahead and figure the adjustment out. I'm gonna see if I can figure out how this works. If not, I'll just take it into the dealer, but I'm gonna try and figure this out. Back with you guys in a bit. Well, guys, what we have here is I'm gonna try and see if I can get this in there. I spoke to a couple of people, and they all said that basically the adjustment is pretty simple. There is a tool for it, but they told me how to self-adjust or how to do it here at home. Basically, they told me that the split between the front part and the back part of that pressure plate had to be roughly 1/8 of an inch of gap, which I do have. They told me to go ahead and install it, and I'll, that's all it would need for it to function. I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to try it out. I mean, I have the privilege of being able to try it. If it doesn't work, split the tractor, have it adjusted by somebody that knows how to adjust it, and then slap it back on. So I'm going to go ahead and try that approach. I don't know if the guy is correct or not, but it's worth a try, dude. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble this thing. I got the little PTO clutch. I use that input shaft from the transmission to kind of align it with the clutch. Now I'm going to go ahead and put that pressure plate and bolt it onto the flywheel, and then we'll go ahead and use that little aligning tool to get everything kind of aligned before I try to push the two halves together. So let me go ahead and get that done. Well, guys, both clutches and pressure plate are on the tractor. I'm going to try and see if I can slide the two halves together. I mean, the clutch looks pretty much aligned. I know the PTO clutch is aligned because I got that shaft on there. The drive clutch seems to be very, I mean, it's to me it looks aligned. So I'm going to try and see if I can squeeze these two suckers together. All right, bear with me, guys. Well, guys, let me kind of push this tractor back. I still have maybe, I don't know, an inch. I have to go into town and get me some all threads or a longer bolt, so I can go ahead and get those bolts in there and use them as guide pins, so I can go ahead and finish pushing these two together. Let me go to the other side. Here you can get a little bit better picture. It's roughly 1.25 inches, maybe 1.5 inches. Well, as you guys can see, we're back with this tractor. What I did, and I didn't record, but I bought those M12s 1.75 bolts that were a little bit longer. I screwed them in place, and then I kind of just pushed the rear tires and wiggled the tractor until the clutch actual shafts went into the clutch, both clutch plates. Now all I got to do is make sure that the clutching is in those little input shafts correctly. I'm gonna put it in gear, try to move it back and forth, push the clutch, see if I can turn the flywheel easily without the whole tractor wanting to move, stuff like that, just to make sure that it's engaged properly. Then I got to tighten all these little suckers up and rewire this tractor. I mean, make all the connections. Clutch is on. I already repaired the wiring harnesses. All I got to do is tighten up all them bolts, put those brackets. Well, let me show you. All I got to do is set up those two brackets and the hood, basically, on either side. Tighten up the rest of the screws on that bell housing. Clutch is already on there. I got to get that front drive shaft cleaned out and installed. And I got this radiator. Since the radiator I got didn't fit, I mean, it wasn't for this tractor, I had to return it. So I had this one cleaned out, and the guy just kind of cleaned it out and kind of spray painted it. I'm going to go ahead and reuse it. But now we found out that our water pump has way too much play. That pump comes in tomorrow, so I'm gonna do whatever I can on this one real quick, get as much done on it as I can, and I'll just come back tomorrow and finish it off. Oh, and let's get those bolts in the back of the tractor on that brace set up right there. Well, we got that brace. I still have to get the other one. And let me tell you, I got the transmission all bolted up and tightened. There you can see the bolts. Now, down here, I got that brace bolted up. I got that little swing arm going to the back, bolted up. So all I got to do is get that other side, and that'll be it for the undercarriage, or for the underside. Only thing left is that drive shaft right there. Goes on that little PTO shaft and on the transmission over here. And that should be it for putting this back together. Well, exception of the hydraulic lines here, but I'll get those. So let me go ahead and continue, guys. Well, guys, it's getting a little dark. Pretty soon I'm going to have all the crickets making a whole bunch of noise and stuff, so I'm going to go ahead and stop here. I got this brace on there, right there. I'm going to the back, and I got that back already lifted up, so all that is pretty much done. The only thing I got to do now is wait for that little water pump for this little John Deere little tractor, and get it installed, set up the radiator, new hoses, stuff like that, clean it up a bit, put the battery on it in the hood, and it should fire right up, and we should be able to test it here at the ranch. I mean, just move a little bit of dirt around or something before I call the owner and tell him the tractor's done and for him to pick it up. So, well, guys, it's going to be it for now. I appreciate you guys watching. Like and comment.